I'd like to thank Neville Reed and Mayor Brown and Platt that has donated countless dollars of, not dollars, but their time adds up to be dollars. And they have really allowed Reach Out and Touch to become a viable organization. And I just really thank the Southwest Shoe Service Collaborative, Camille O'Day, who's been a partner from the beginning, really provided resources and just advice and really been a friend. And Dr. Leon Finney's staff and friend, Ms. Laura Lane, which really helped me get a master's degree in theology, soon to pursue a doctorate degree with prayers and this offering I'm about to take up. And so I just really want to thank everybody. I'd like to thank Eric. Eric has been with me from day one. Day one. And Ms. Vaughn, don't you say a word to this, but anyone that can really put up with me all day, every day, really has to be commended. Give him another round of applause. And before, I want to say this before I talk about this next young man, but Congressman, I really want to thank you. When Terry Peterson spoke first, and you're about to be announced, but he said this, I want to say this. Terry Peterson came to me and said, Alderman Terry Peterson, he said, Reverend, no, I'm not going to speak before the congressman. He said the congressman is busy, he's important, and he's a good man. We need to get him up first, in which I agree. So I went to the congressman, and he didn't hesitate. He said, Reverend, no, go ahead, go ahead. I mean, he's not watching his watch, and I know he's busy. And Congressman, I really appreciate the work you did as alderman. Really appreciate the work you're doing in Congress. I really appreciate every time I read that you don't compromise your faith and you have not sold out the community, and you fight for the community. And I really want to commend you. And I'm real serious. Anything that I can do, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of our organization, anything that I can do to help in your endeavors, I mean anything, we will be there. And that's all. I just wanted to, James, come here. This is James Hollins. He's the general manager of the whole program. James is a fine young man, and I hate to bust him out, but he just turned 20 years old, and he's trying to masquerade like he's 25. He's only 20.
I feel like I'm 36.
You can't have him. He said he feels like he's 36, my age. But I want to commend James. James has been a part of our organization for about 5 years now. I worked part-time during the summer, worked after school, and has taken on a great responsibility. He's general manager of the whole process here. Has completed 16 weeks of intense training, 45 hours a week. And he has a great responsibility. He is a peer to most of his employees. He has a staff of 21 that he oversees right now. He's soon to oversee this project and our 63rd Street project. And so let me tell you something Brown's told me. Brown's, I got a call. I know Michelle's back there somewhere and some of Brown's staff. But they called me and said, Reverend, do you have any more James? And I threatened James. I said, James, if you leave, Chicago's not big enough. So I really appreciate this young man for taking on the responsibility and really stepping up. He had the flu the last couple of days, right when we were ending the process, and he came to work sick. But I thank God that he is a Christian, so he claimed healing, and he was able, if he didn't, I did for him, so he can come back to work. I just really thank God for you, James, and you have a great responsibility, and I know that we have the right man for this job. And so I just really thank God for you, and we are praying for you. James will be one of the first ones that will have a franchise of some sort. The program was designed to start off with our 2 managers, which were 19, they're both 20 now, and allow them to get the training they need, the education they need, allow them to run the store for 2 years, and then give them a franchise, and then put some teenagers in their place. And it would be a revolving circle. As I take my seat, I am proud to announce the building of our Youth Business Academy. That's one of our new ventures that we are establishing. We are working hard with the Alderman's office and to establish a youth business academy across the street where some boarded up property has been for years. And so that will be a facility where kids will be educated. And so we are really proud to announce that. And as Frank said and Bud, that we are proud to announce the building of our Kids Corner on 63rd and Ashland, where we will be able to provide some odd 300 jobs for youth, 32 management jobs for youth, 16 co-manager positions, and 16 assistant managers, along with 300 jobs. And so we are really excited for that announcement. And at this point, I'm going to bring Dana back up. Do me a favor now. If I catch anybody here at Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, churches, Mama and Pops, every dime that you spend here, every penny, goes back into the community, goes back into the youth. This business was established as a non-for-profit. Which means that every dime will go back into youngsters like James. Every dime will go back into them. Now, if I don't acknowledge my grandmother, I'll get a call tonight. But my grandmother is 52 years old, and she's all right, Grandma. I did good. That's my grandmother. Vivian Haynes. Thank God for her. Finally, my friends and staff are the guys that really secured this place for 4 months. When I called Frank, this store had just became abandoned, and we realized, we see the Popeyes, when property is left abandoned, it becomes havens for gangs and drugs. It becomes havens for rapists and all kind of ugly things that plague our society. And so we didn't want to see this. So we just really thank God for the guys who came here three at a night. We had three guys that stayed here during the night, one during the day, that have secured this property for 4 months. I mean, by telling people you have to move on, by keeping the property clean, help do all the construction inside. And so those guys that are here that helped in that process, would you please just wave your hand or raise your hand? Good. A lot of them are out making sure our cars are safe and people get back to their cars. Congressman, thank you for accepting to be patient and wait. We did not want to start until you arrived, and I do want to say that I wouldn't let the program start when I asked my colleagues because I really admire the work that you're doing in Congress, and I mean that. I know it's repetitive and redundant, but I think you're doing a great job, especially where you came from. It shows children that there is hope, and you're not ashamed of your testimony. And I thank God that you are a Christian. Dana,